Hello and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host, Ilene, and on this week's program, our guest, Dr. Tony Operly, Artistic Director, UF Opera Theater, and Maestro Tiffany Liu, new Director of UF Symphony Orchestra, introduced the upcoming production of Carmen, the most popular opera of all time. Take a sneak peek behind the curtain of Carmen. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Dr. Tony Operly, Associate Professor, Artistic Director of the Opera Theater, UF School of Music, College of the Arts. And Tony, it's wonderful to have you here on the show once again.
Ilene, it's always a pleasure to be here, and I've missed you. It's been since before the pandemic we saw each other.
We hadn't had a chance to be together. You haven't had the opportunity for an opera, which is now coming out with Carmen. And so I feel good with this moment, and I think back to all our shows together on every large, magnificent opera you presented here at UF. It's always a joy, and it is right now. I feel just very privileged to get to discuss this with you.
Well, it's special for us too, and it's great to be back. It's great to be back in that beautiful facility at the Phillips Center for the Performing Arts, and putting another fantastic opera on stage for the Gainesville community. I mean, the last time we did something like this was 2018, I believe, Hansel and Gretel, and then prior to that, La Boheme.
Yes, I was
so
there.
We're going to bring Carmen to the stage this time.
I already have my tickets. Because
you already have your tickets?
part of the season for UFPA, so in the program, I've got them from when I bought all my tickets for the year.
Well, that's one of the true joys for us, is to get a chance to collaborate with our community partners, including Brian Joes and the University of Florida Performing Arts. It's such a treat to be on their season and be part of the wonderful experiences that Gainesville is able to see and experience every single year.
And I agree. And this is such a wonderful, beloved opera. Even for those who might not be opera buffs, Carmen resonates. They're going to know Carmen. And so I'm going to sit back and let you tell me and all our viewers about Carmen. And going back to that word collaboration, because this is a true collaboration. But then tell me again when it's going to take place.
It's going to take place March 31st and April 1st. No fooling.
No.
At 7:30.
Friday night, Saturday night. Okay.
7:30 p.m. at the Phillips Center for the Performing Arts.
Okay.
Marvelous grand production with the full UF Symphony Orchestra.
Yes.
75 pieces, and a beautiful set that we're renting from the Sarasota Opera. Our collaborative partners down there in Sarasota will be bringing it in on 2 tractor trailers, and guest artists.
Yes. Now tell me.
Some wonderful people coming in from out of town to tell the story. People sung all over the world. Our Carmen has sung at the Metropolitan Opera. She's sung at Santa Fe Opera. She sang Carmen at the Sydney Opera House in Australia.
I saw that. I mean,
one of the world's great and most sought after Carmens will be joining us as a guest artist, along with some other guest artists as well. Our very talented undergraduate and graduate performers in the School of Music. What an amazing educational treat for them.
It is.
To be on a big stage with some of these professional...
School of Theater and Dance, they're also involved.
We have a number of people that were in Cabaret, now also in Carmen this year. And then our community supporters, the Capella Nova Choir, under the direction of our chorus master, Joshua Mazer, will be joining us as well. And so it's a fabulous collaboration.
In more and more people. And wait a minute, tell me about the opportunity for Alachua County school children.
Oh, well, speaking of children too, we have children in the opera as well.
True.
The Alachua County, the Alachua Voice Studio is bringing their students in to join us as a children's chorus. But yes, Alachua County Schools will be coming for a special performance of just Act 2.
Okay, right.
On Friday, March 31st. Diana Rollo, who is the arts director for the Alachua County Schools has
Right.
helped us organize this, along with my amazing assistant director, Lynette Funt, who's joined me this year for the first time and changed my life. It's wonderful to have an assistant.
You've been needing one, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. They're you notice that.
Yes.
They're packing in the Phillips Center 1,000 kids or more
what
to
a
see this
great
wonderful
opportunity.
performance back to,
And
which
to see the
features
symphony orchestra
Oh.
with the new maestro we'll be meeting, Tiffany Liu.
right.
Go on. Yes.
Right, Tiffany's amazing, a new collaborator on this as well. But to see those kids' faces light up when they hear the Toreador song.
Oh, I know. Do, 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 do.
Bump,
I know.
bump,
Do,
yeah,
do.
I'll have TJ sing it for you. Come
I
back
think
in a
you can
few
do
minutes.
well. Yes, you do better than me.
But it's an incredible story. It's a story of passion and desire and unrequited love, and of course every memorable tune you can imagine in this opera. It is the best first opera for anyone who's
I
never
agree.
seen opera before. In fact, it really permeates our society. It's part of our musical language.
It is. You're
Everything
right.
from TVs and commercials to Gilligan's Island featured.
There's always
featured
something about it.
featured Carmen is their ill-fated attempt to couple Hamlet and opera together. It's very
Okay,
clever.
that's a good memory. Okay. Well, I am thrilled with this opportunity for our community, and we're going to take a quick break, and then we have lots more to talk about. Thank you, Tony. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about the opera Carmen, and I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Dr. Thaddeus Bourne, visiting assistant professor of voice and guest artist portraying the role of the Toreador in Carmen. Do, 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 do. Here you go.
Yes. I'm out of a
Fun.
job now. That's so good. Bravo. It's a privilege to be here.
Your voice is just talking to you. It's wonderful. A rich baritone. See, and that laugh.
My whole family has it.
Really?
They do. When we get together for a family event,
Yeah.
we like to watch a comedy, so we have to turn it on full blast, and it still takes us 3 or 4 hours because we have to keep stopping to rewind. So
Okay, go back about your family. Has music, singing always been part of your life with your family? Or does it come from your background?
Well, my father is a minister and my mother is a school teacher, so
Okay.
so they both love music very much.
Okay.
But I'm the first musician. I think a little
That's
bit to their
wonderful.
chagrin, but they do love it. So
Well, but I know you have won a number of awards. We can't say them all, but tell me about the Grammys, the award for children's album.
So I was really privileged to work with a number of colleagues and students. Many from the University of Florida, so that was a wonderful collaboration. There's nothing like making great music with great people, so that's
Agreed.
always a privilege. And one of those collaborations was a children's album with Vladimir Suarez and Sofia Canta in Mexico, and we won the 2022 Latin Grammy
That's right.
for Best Children's Album.
Congratulations.
Oh, it was a real privilege. But the best
Quite a
part of that
tribute.
is working with those people.
Oh, I know.
That was
And okay,
heart and
talk
soul.
about working with wonderful people. The same with Carmen. The
Yes.
collaboration that's going on. Okay, visiting guest artist, you.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about the corporal that you come up against in Carmen?
So I get
He's
to work
also
with
coming, yes.
Matthew Morgan, who teaches in our music theater program. I'm very excited to work with him. And then Kirsten Chavez, of course, is a world-renowned Carmen. So this is a real privilege. Also to have Tony Offerly and Tiffany Liu, colleagues that I see every day in the hallway, but now we get to make music together. That's something really special. And then, of course, I'm most excited about the students, getting to share in this process
Yes.
with them. That's a gift. That's a blessing.
Oh, talk a little about the rehearsals and ongoing and how it all comes together and, how long you've been rehearsing.
Well, they've been rehearsing since the fall. I actually
Okay.
have yet to join rehearsals, so I'm looking forward to it.
There's that laugh again.
But
Okay.
it will be a great experience. It'll be a great
and
experience.
that costume, the bullfighter outfit.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
I
you're getting
love
ready.
fashion.
The kid. Oh, see, the kids are gonna are going to love this when they see it, because the bullfighter probably really draws a lot of the attention
Yes.
of kids. And you have a lot of goals about bringing production, music, enriching people's lives through the arts. Talk about that.
Well, I have a presentation on expanding the lens of opera, and that's a big research area for me. Ways to increase access, equity, inclusion, looking at groups that have been underserved, underrepresented through casting, through the libretti, the stories of the opera.
Right.
How can we do better? How can we be more inclusive? That's a reason I'm so excited about this production. We are doing runouts to schools. We are bringing many school children in to see the production in the
Right.
Phillips Center. So that is right in line with those goals.
Is special because you would have to assume there will be many students who've never walked into the Phillips Center
Right.
and not seen a performance come alive on stage. What an opportunity. Because to me, there's nothing better than live performance. So it just, is going to excite these students and change lives.
Absolutely. Please
And
tell that to all your friends.
Okay,
I agree
I am.
100%. It's wonderful because music it's a temporal art form. It only exists in the time that it's played or sung. So when you go to see a live performance, you will never ever experience that again. Even if the same people come back together to do the same thing, it will be different music.
Different.
So it only exists in that one time, and you have to be there to experience it, or it's gone.
Or it's
You're
gone.
getting something gourmet, something original, something unique.
Oh, this is so well said. Thank you for sharing that. And Thaddeus, I'm looking forward to seeing you on stage as our Toreador.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to working with all these amazing colleagues and to singing for you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you, and stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is a special delight to introduce my next guest, Maestro Tiffany Liu, conductor, University of Florida Symphony Orchestra. And Tiffany, welcome. And new friend, may I add.
It's such a great pleasure to be here. Thanks for having all of us.
Thank you. My pleasure to learn more myself about Carmen and to let all our viewers get excited and get their tickets so they can be in their seats as you walk out for your debut at the University of Florida Performing Arts Phillips Center and raise your baton.
You know, it's funny. The Maestro is such a glamorous title. Actually, the irony, I think, and delight in an opera production is that the maestro is one cog in an enormous wheel, right? You've got staging and costumes and everything, and in the end, the only thing that I do is go out and push the start button. And
get it going.
Yeah, and then, the show hums along, but so many thousands of hours of time from every sphere has gone into the whole bit that in the end, what I do is one tiny part. It's very different from what I normally do, which is, of course, I'm in my first year here as the director of the symphony orchestra.
Exactly.
And so on the day-to-day basis, I work with the orchestra to present symphonic concerts where, okay, look, it's a little bit glamorous, right? You walk out and you start the orchestra and there's interpretation and all this, that, and the other. But in opera, it's a special delight to kind of know that you depend on so many other people. You depend on, the director who are allowing folks to enter the stage. And of course, you've got to manage your orchestra. And
have the format.
Precisely. Yeah.
Okay. No, wait. Go on.
It's really quite an interesting because you end up just being one tiny. You're not calling the shots. The director is calling the shots in terms of the rehearsal.
Right.
So that's also very different modus operandi than symphony rehearsals, which is where I am running it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a different mindset.
Okay. What is one of the things you enjoy the most? Because I know that you love working with the students, working with people.
Yeah.
What is bringing you that smile?
Well, it's just fun. So early on when I first started conducting, I'm an introvert, and when I first started conducting, I thought, is this for me? It's so
right, because
so
you graduated from Princeton.
Yeah, I
you
got a public
violin.
policy degree. I was a violinist all my life, and I decided that I wanted to do something bigger and more multidisciplinary in the actual approach, right?
Right.
So conducting became the thing that I sought to pursue, and there was a lot of insecurity about that at the beginning because I didn't decide to do that until after I graduated from undergrad. And
so you had
there
to catch up, you had to really move forward.
2 years. Well, the interesting thing about conducting is that people don't really teach you how to do it until you're of a certain age. You generally have built up your artistic profile by doing
Right.
Playing an
you have
instrument.
to know so much about every instrument.
That's right. Yeah. So you
end
up becoming a musician, building that body of knowledge, and then maybe we'll let you stand in front of the podium and tell people what to do, right? So there was a lot of insecurity at the beginning there about, okay, is this the personality fit for me in terms of what the conductor does?
Right.
Because everybody hears conductor and they think, oh, it's so glamorous, it's super limelighty, you get to call the shots. And I don't know, that didn't necessarily feel like the reason it shouldn't be the reason that you go into conducting, first of all.
Yes.
And so I didn't know whether that would work out for me. So opera is actually a special confirmation of the fact that, oh, this is actually in some ways more natural, where I get to fit in and line up with
the whole
Tony
picture.
And with Josh Mazer, our chorus director, exactly, and the casting and the chorus and everything. So that, it's fun because you get to see a big window and put yourself as part of this big show culture, which otherwise orchestras don't really get to access that much.
Well, that's a good point. And now, okay, so how many hours of rehearsal to get to that point, to see it all? Can you even give us an idea?
I can. I have to kind of do the math in my head, and it is different from what will happen with like a professional opera cycle, right? So usually what happens in an opera company is the orchestra will see the music, maybe 2 or 3 times at most. They'll run through it, and then they'll start putting it together with the singers. And there's special rehearsals with fancy names like Sitzprobe and Wandelprobe. So they'll put them together with the singers twice without too much staging, maybe if it's generous, if there's a lot of money to pay the services for the orchestra, because orchestras are expensive, and then they'll have 1 or 2 what they call orchestra dress rehearsals, which are fully staged runs. You don't stop. I mean, they're real dress rehearsals.
You go straight on.
Even if something goes awry, you say, okay, bar, whatever, and you go on, and then it's showtime.
And that's
so it's really quite compressed. Now, with a student production, you want to make sure it's a success. So we're going to start rehearsals for this with just the orchestra after our concert. So we're just running up to our first concert of the semester, and then after that, we'll launch into Carmen. So it'll be about the entire month of March where we'll have rehearsed this.
Well, thank you, Tiffany, because I will be at my seat applauding you when you,
I can't wait.
the
It's very exciting. It's beloved music. It's amazing music.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing so much important knowledge and your viewpoint.
Thank you so
much.
We
welcome you.
Thank you so much.
And stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about the opera Carmen with Dr. Tony Overly, and I'm pleased to introduce Lily Mancini, junior, studying voice performance at the UF School of Music and having an outstanding primary role in Carmen. Tell us.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here, and I'm thrilled to be playing the role of Frasquita in Carmen. It's going to be such a blast. She's one of Carmen's kind of close confidants in her band of smugglers, and it's a lot of fun, especially during Act 2. We get to hang out with Carmen in Lila's Pastia bar and tavern, talk about our deeds of mischief and all that fun stuff.
Yes. I can see you are excited about this, and you should be. And I know you do study with Dr. Overly.
Yes, I'm actually one of Dr. Overly's voice students, and it's such a pleasure to study with him and then also be able to work with him on the opera. It's A fabulous experience.
Well, and we've talked that theater is something you've always enjoyed.
Yes.
So this is perfect for you.
I was involved with musical theater when I was very little. I was in Annie in the 5th grade, and it was such a fun time, and ever since then I felt like the theater is my home. Yes, I started doing opera my senior year of high school, and ever since then it's just taken off. It's really something I'm so passionate about, and that like energy you feel in a live performance space is something that you just cannot replicate anywhere else.
Cannot duplicate it. Okay, so talk about that. What will it be? I know you're rehearsing hard. What will it be like when you step on that stage?
That feeling of, the lights and hearing the orchestra and just having that fabulous experience of performing for these people and knowing that like every instant as it's passing is just singular and can't happen again. It's such a joy. It's a fabulous experience. There's really no way to describe it.
I'm going to be remembering that when I'm sitting in my seat, because that's going to make me appreciate this performance even more. And Tony, jump in. I know there's more things that you can, tell us about Carmen, but we don't want to forget March 31st, April 1st, 7:30 p.m. Phillips Center.
Right. The dates are March 31st and April 1st, 7:30 p.m. at the Phillips Center for the Performing Arts. And you'll get to see Lily and our guest artist. It's so exciting to see her on stage with some of these professionals who have been doing it for decades. It really does raise her level of performance, and she'll find that out, I think, very soon.
But it's a great
when she starts that
opportunity.
rehearsal process.
Right.
Yes,
it is. And then I know we've talked about what a collaboration this is, and I know others have helped you bring Carmen to the UFPA.
No, we couldn't do it as for the community, all of our wonderful partners at University of Florida Performing Arts, in our own school, the Dina Zuzu from College of the Arts, Kevin Orr, Director of School of Music, Tiffany Liu, and all the wonderful people that were working at School of Theater Dance, Pete Carpenter and all those folks over there, Tony Mata, who's our friend. It's this wonderful place to work and live and show up every day and teach these amazing students like Lily.
Thank you.
And okay, now, what are some of your aspirations after you finish your degree at UF?
So I graduate next spring with my degree in voice performance. Hopefully sometime along that track I'll be making my rounds to the grad schools, auditioning to pursue a master's degree in opera performance. And hopefully from there I'll find my way onto many a more stage, doing what I love.
I see your eyes light up when you talk about that. Well, that's got to mean so much to you, Tony, knowing that you have trained someone who's going on to share their love of opera.
That's why we do what we do, is to get them ready for the next step and to see them move on and see that we have people on stages. We have students of our own on stage at the Metropolitan Opera and La Scala in San Francisco and Chicago Lyric. And when you see your students succeed, it really does make everything so gratifying.
I agree, and that's going to be you, Lily.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I want to thank Thaddeus and Tiffany and you, Tony, and you, Lily, for being such wonderful guests and bringing Carmen to life for us. I look forward to it. And I hope I will see you at the performance of Carmen. So glad you tuned in, and I hope you'll join us next time. Take care.